everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to learn about the cellular respiration and what are our learning objectives. Let's go into the detail. Number one, we are going to learn about both respirations, the aerobic one and the anaerobic one. Second one is the glycolysis, which is so aerobic respiration is further divided into four stages. First one is glycolysis. Second one is a link reaction. Third one is the Krebs cycle, and the last one is electron transport chain. So we are going to discuss each one in detail in different videos. Let's go into an introduction of cellular respiration. Where does it take place, and what helps that part to perform its function. So we are very well known with mitochondria. Students usually know this with the name of powerhouse of a cell, and I guess it's very easy to remember this that it is powerhouse. Sorry, as I need to write powerhouse, not powerful. It's a powerhouse of a cell. So the structure is given below. So there is an outer membrane and then there is an inner membrane. Now look at the inner membrane. The inner membrane is folded. So what is the purpose of folding in this one? It increases the surface area, and later we discuss that why mitochondria and how mitochondria is adapted to perform a certain function. So this folding gives it a good surface area or enhanced surface area so that it can perform the function really well and more ATP are generated. So the structure says it's a double membrane. The outer membrane is smooth and permeable, while the inner membrane is folded and known as cristae. So the inner membrane is folded, known as cristae. It is less permeable. It is a site of electron transport chain and ATP synthase. Now this play an important part. This enzyme or this sorry or this you can say agent plays important part in producing ATP from NADH and FADH2. So this one is really important for you. Like why this is called as powerhouse, just because it has ATP synthase, it can make ATP. So ATP is actually the energy units in our body, and we make energy in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So when the bonds break for ATP, the energy is generated. So it's very, you need to learn this first, that whenever the bond break, energy is released. And you must have read this in the other subjects like chemistry, that the bond breaking results is an exothermic process, while the bond making is endothermic process. So the intermembrane space has high proton gradient, essential for ATP production, and we will discuss this in detail in electron transport chain. So this hydrogen ion concentration actually allows it to make ATP really well. Then next one is it contains a matrix, which is this one, this blue one area, the ribosomes, because it needs to make protein, and it has its own circular mitochondrial DNA. The next one is the how it's adapted. So first of all, we have discussed that the inner membrane, which is called as cristae, it is folded one to have a more surface area so that there can be more proteins or more ATP synthase, and there will be production of more energy in the cell. So more active cells have more mitochondria and more cristae. So you must remember that when we discuss the transport in plants, we say that the xylem have no living, it's not a living cell, it's a dead cell, there is no living cell content. While when we talk about phloem, because the it needs energy to transport food, it has lots of mitochondria. So it doesn't mean that there are constant number of mitochondria in every cell. The number may differ because the cells which need more energy or which are performing functions that require energy would definitely are going to have more mitochondria. Then muscle cells, fats have more mitochondria as compared to the fat cells, because muscle cells are continuously um, are moving, so they need more mitochondria as compared to the fat cell, which are only storing the fat. So how it is adapted to its function? First of all, the outer membrane, it's a barrier, it's a transport of small molecules, so only the product of glycolysis can enter this one. The inner membrane is folded one. The enhanced surface area is there, so that it can have more ATP synthase. Then the intermembrane space contains the proton accumulation that actually is a pump, or you can say it helps to produce ATP from NADH or reduced NAD and reduced FAD. The matrix is there. It contains the enzymes for Krebs cycle. There is a mitochondrial DNA and there are ribosomes because it needs to make proteins, or the enzymes are proteins as well. So this is all for the mitochondria. Now let's go into an overview of cellular respiration and then we're going to discuss them in detail. So first of all, cellular respiration is a process of releasing energy from the glucose. So when we were kids, we used to believe the respiration is how we breathe in or breathe out. So later on, we discover that respiration is not breathing; it's the release of energy from the food that we take in, and this happens in many steps. So it occurs in stages, and these are the four main stages that we are going to discuss. The glycolysis is the first stage. The second one is the link reaction that connects the pyruvate with this Krebs cycle. You can say the reactant or the starting material. Then last one is the electron transport chain, which releases energy basically from the reduced NAD and FAD. So it produces ATP for cellular processes. Aerobic respiration requires oxygen. Definitely anaerobic doesn't. So where the reaction takes place. First of all is the location. Let's discuss the location. So glycolysis happens in the cytoplasm. So the product then move into the mitochondria, the pyruvate. Let's say pyruvate moves to the inner or you can say inside mitochondria so that the reaction will occur. Then it leads to Krebs cycle and finally the oxidative phosphorylation. So these three takes place inside the mitochondria while this one is in the cytoplasm. Then what is glycolysis? Glycolysis basically the splitting of glucose into two pyruvate. So a three carbon molecule is formed. Then link reaction, it is the decarboxylation and dehydrogenation of pyruvate into the acetyl CoA. Then acetyl CoA is further, it's a cycle. It again and again produces how we're going to learn later. And then the oxidative phosphorylation, and it has been mentioned so many times that it produces reduced, oh sorry, it releases energy from reduced NAD and reduced FAD. So this is all for like a general discussion for where does it take place, what is the importance of mitochondria. So in the next videos we are going to discuss how these cycles take place. So stay tuned and goodbye.